Hi, I'm Lindsay, and this is my brother Lee. Back in 2008, we travelled all over Asia having the adventure of a lifetime, completing 101 challenges for Channel 4. It was during these travels that we met our dream women, our true loves, Hannah and Natalie. We're now setting off on another insane journey, but this time we'll be tying the knot in 6 traditional tribal wedding ceremonies. As grooms, we'll endure brutal initiations into manhood and the odd circumcision to prove our love, whilst our brides-to-be will suffer being spat on and having their heads shaved just so that they can hear the words, I do. This is Hannah. She's 30 and from England. Lee met her in India at a beach sports day. After egg and spoon and wheelbarrow races, he won first place in her heart. The two of them are as romantic and as sweet as a couple could ever be. This is Natalie. She's 26 and from Australia. We also met in India, and after a whirlwind holiday romance, I literally turned my world upside down to be with her in the land down under. Marrying her once just wouldn't be enough, and there's no other girl that I'd risk my foreskin for. Not spending 15 grand on a Western white wedding might just be the most romantic thing we'll ever do. In the UK, it would cost me 15 grand to put a wedding ring on this little finger. This way, we get to be 6 times more romantic for a fraction of the cost.
Tiffany's going to cost you a lot more than 15 grand. I do want a white wedding. I want all the frills and the big dresses and 37 bridesmaids and marquees and everything. You don't want a white wedding?
No, I definitely don't want a white wedding. I want small and private. Give me a beach at sunset and a shell, and I'll be really happy.
Babe, I've got loads of shells. Loads of shells.
Do you have loads of diamonds?
I didn't have to convince Hannah. I simply asked her. You said yeah.
I did.
Did you have to be convinced?
Anyone would have to be convinced to marry me.
I knew it.
But I'm not going to get the big white wedding that I want, and this is the second best thing.
Second best.
He's going to marry me 6 times as opposed to once, so I'm in. Let's do it.
Good God! Thanks very much for that. Cheers.
Of course I'm nervous. What bride-to-be isn't nervous? And I think I have extra pressure with marrying you.
Well, it's definitely one of those situations where you should be nervous, but for some reason I'm really not. This kind of seems like the most natural way for us to get married for some very bizarre reason. It just works. The only thing I am really dreading is the idea of having to shave my head as part of the wedding ceremony. I mean, it took me so long to grow all of this, I just don't know if I could do it.
Don't do it, babe.
That is the thing that I'm most looking forward to. I think that if I have to give up a white wedding, then Lindsay should be able to love me with a full head like this.
Shoot. That's going to be rather difficult in that.
I guess really I just want to understand our differences. In a tribal situation, relationships are based a lot more on who's a good hunter, who's a good cook, who's a good homemaker. For us, we're allowed to indulge who we fancy, who we think is sexy, who has a nice ass and looks good in a pair of jeans.
We'd have to come back again. Tribal divorce.